virtue of the powers vested in me, I constitute this congregation of the Durban University of Technology. The congregation is invited to sit.
Sanbonani, Dumelang, and good afternoon. Welcome to the 2022 Celebratory Graduation Ceremony for the Durban University of Technology. My name is Zwagele Ngubane, and I'm the Director of Advancement and Alumni Relations at DUT. I would like to welcome our esteemed Chancellor, Ms. Nonkululeko Nyembezi, our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Thandwa Mthembu, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Registrar, Deputy Registrar, Executive Deans, Deputy Deans, members of faculty, the DUT Convocation, the SRC, and members of the academic procession. Welcome also, of course, to our graduates, their parents and guardians, family and friends, supporters and funders. I must also acknowledge my valued colleagues from the academic, administration, and support sectors of DUT. Welcome to the Inkosi Albert Luthuli Durban International Convention Centre. It is truly a wonderful return to the graduation stage following the COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted our lives and changed the way we live and learn. We also remember and honor our family, friends, and colleagues who have passed on. May their memory always be a blessing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a celebratory graduation ceremony because the actual graduations, which were held online, as had been the case since 2020, took place in May this year. A total of 9,081 graduates will be presented during 35 sessions over 12 days in Durban and Pietermaritzburg, comprising of 5,421 women and 3,660 men. That means, ladies and gentlemen, 59.7% of our graduates are women. So clearly, girl power is alive and well at DUT. And perhaps a round of applause for the ladies. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm also pleased to confirm that once again, we are offering language interpretation services from English to isiZulu. If you picked up a headset at the entrance, please make sure you switch it on so that you can make use of the interpretation services today. We also have sign language practitioners on stage to help those with hearing difficulties. Honored guests, the women and men who will be presented to you today have worked very hard to achieve their success. Therefore, as a mark of respect for all graduates and their families and friends who are assembled here today, please could I ask that you stay with us for the entire graduation ceremony. We also realize that this is a celebration. It's the result of a journey that has resulted in success. And whilst we want you to applaud and celebrate, we humbly request that you also respect the rights of all graduates. They all deserve to have their names heard when they are called from the podium. So please do be considerate when you are celebrating the success of your loved one. I thank you for your understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, our hashtag for social media updates is hashtag DUTGrad22. So please make sure that you do so accordingly. The young people will understand. And just to confirm that we live stream all DUT graduation ceremonies online. You can go to our website, www.dut.ac.za, to watch your friends graduate. You can also click on the graduation button and then hit the live stream link. Honored guests, before we commence with the formal parts of the celebratory graduation ceremony, I would like to take you through what is going to happen next. Graduates will be invited to line up, and they are requested to bring your name card and their hood. Also, please make sure that you leave your motorboard on your chair. Before you walk onto stage, your name will be verified to ensure that you are on the graduation roll. Walk carefully up the stairs, and of course for the ladies in heels, please be extra careful. We don't want any tumbles. Present yourself to the podium and hand over your name card. You will then face the camera, and please make sure that you smile when you are standing here so that we can take that all-important photograph. You'll then get your name card and walk down the red carpet. If you're receiving a degree, walk up to the Chancellor, kneel on the kneeler on one knee, chin up, face our Chancellor, and remember to keep smiling as there will be photographs taken as well to capture this moment. And obviously that is when you'll be capped and conferred with your degree. If you are receiving a diploma or certificate, please walk up to the Vice Chancellor and shake his hand. There will be no need to kneel. Your next stop is the registrar thereafter, where you will hand over your hood and then face the camera again and make sure that you smile, as we'll be taking a photograph at that point as well as you're hooded for that all-important moment. Then carefully walk down the stairs and then off the stage again. Kindly note that graduation protocol does not allow for any headgear while walking the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we humbly request that we all adhere to the rules and regulations of the ICC and conduct ourselves in a manner befitting the occasion. We are holding our autumn celebratory graduation ceremonies for the first time at this fine establishment, and it is imperative that we all play our part in preserving and upholding the good name of the university. If any one of our guests or graduates are feeling ill, please inform one of our ushers or a member of our security team, and we will provide you with expert medical attention immediately. We have medical personnel and an ambulance on standby. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been going on and on for a while, but now is the time, that special moment that you have all been waiting for. And to get us going in this regard, I'd like to invite to the podium the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Management Sciences, Dr. Melanie Lawrence.
Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degrees and diplomas on the graduates from the Faculty of Management Sciences, who will be presented to you and in absentia to those whose name appear on the program.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer the degrees and diplomas.
The title of the thesis is as follows: Sustainable Business Strategy for Small and Medium Enterprises in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. The summary is as follows. Academic research has shown that the majority, 75% of small and medium enterprises in KwaZulu-Natal failed after operating for only 3 years. The primary reason for failure and premature closure of the business was due to unsatisfactory strategy formulation and execution. The downward trend of failing small and medium enterprises has continued and remains a realistic problem today. Vinay investigated the core element of strategy and the sub-elements of change, purpose, and leadership in the business environment. He found that all identified elements were needed to achieve a sustainable business strategy. Vinay created a model to assist small and medium enterprises to operate for a longer term, to contribute towards the improvement of the economy, to assist with more job creation, and finally to enable small and medium enterprises to grow into larger corporate organizations. The supervisor is Professor M.S. Bayat. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Vinay Bukwandine. The title of the thesis is as follows: The Influence of Entrepreneurship on Public Sector Organizations, the Case of Parastatals in Zimbabwe. Parastatals in Zimbabwe are failing to execute the mandate of public service delivery effectively. This has rendered public services elusive to most citizens. Most parastatals are stuck in the old paradigm of management, where public value is delivered through adherence to standards. Hence, the imperative of parastatals to invest in entrepreneurship becomes urgent. Lucy used a mixed methods research design to explore the influence of entrepreneurship on organizational performance. The study's major finding is that entrepreneurship has a positive influence on organizational performance. The findings assist leadership in parastatals to foster entrepreneurship by investing in an entrepreneurial architecture. An entrepreneurial framework was designed, which may be implemented in parastatals to enable the entities to become high-performance organizations. The study recommends that entrepreneurship be adopted in PSOs as a strategy to enhance efficacy while achieving the twin goals of public value creation and economic efficiency. The supervisor is Dr. B. Chazireni. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Lucy Chamba. The title of the thesis, Change Management Leadership and its Impact on Employees' Resistance to Change. Case study of selected automobile companies in Durban Metropolitan Region of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. I will now be calling upon the supervisor, Dr. L. N. Govender, to read the summary.
The study is based on the contention that the world is shifting from an industrial paradigm to a post-industrial paradigm, and as a result, change ought to be managed effectively. Past literature reviewed indicated that there are neither appropriate models to address monumental changes in the automobile industry, nor tools to address resistance to change due to inadequate leadership skills. The study explores the process of adapting dynamic change management leadership model at the selected automobile dealership companies in the Durban metropolitan region of KwaZulu-Natal. A sample size of 300 staff members and managers were conveniently considered, comprising 270 staff and 30 managers, in a mixed method research study. To analyze the data quantitatively, inferential statistics and descriptive statistics were used. The hypothesized model formulated was tested with the structural equation model, the SEM. Findings revealed no relationship between transformational leadership and resistance to change. However, there was a relationship between transactional leadership and resistance to change. Quantitative data were analyzed using thematic analysis, employing the NVivo software package. Recommendations from the study include the application of the proposed change management leadership model and other intervention strategies mentioned in the study for the improvement of change management in leadership companies.
Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Nonye Chukumwa. The title of the thesis, Creative Leadership and Management in the KwaZulu-Natal Film Industry. KwaZulu-Natal has an emerging film industry that promotes economical growth and cultural identity with the emergence of small production companies and independent producers. The researcher explored the impact of creative leadership and management in this emerging industry in terms of a creative leadership mathematical equation and a creative leadership competency framework. By conducting a mixed research methodology approach, the mathematical equation was studied qualitatively and the competency framework was studied quantitatively. The mathematical equation identified 7 key characteristics that distinguishes a creative leader in the film industry from other forms of leadership and can further be explored in the development of a creative leadership assessment tool. The competency framework explored the relationship between the 4 key dimensions and the 4 key competencies and their ultimate effect on creative leadership and management in the KwaZulu-Natal film industry. The framework can be used as a conceptual basis for local film studies. Supervisor, Dr. A. Sangam. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor in Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Robin Gengen. The title of the thesis, Influence of Incubation Hubs on Startups in Harare, Zimbabwe. The slow growth of Zimbabwean startups is attributed to a lack of capacity to achieve the intended growth. The research sheds light on how incubation centers are being implemented and how beneficial they are. The practice of business incubation is a crucial endeavor that can aid the growth of new enterprises. This study sheds light on how startup enterprises evolve when they are exposed to incubation centers. To assess the influence of incubation on startups, the study used a qualitative methodology. To present the outcomes of the study, Joe used content analysis to analyze the data into thematic areas. The study found that hubs provided a well-structured strategy from beginning to end of the incubation process, allowing for better comprehension and lowering the risk of failure. The conclusions of this study have numerous theoretical as well as practical implications for incubation managers, policymakers, academic institutions, and startup entrepreneurs. Supervisor, Professor M.S. Byatt. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor in Philosophy and Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Joe Karambakuwa. Title of the thesis, The Influence of Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Policies on Organizational Effectiveness, a Case of South African Companies. I will now call upon Dr. L.N. Govender to read the summary.
Broad-based black economic empowerment is an integral part of the South African business landscape, so long as there are real or perceived inequalities in the economy and society in general. legislation came into effect to redress the economic imbalances caused by the apartheid system, where black people were purposefully restricted from meaningful participation in the economy. Gilvani explored the influence of BBEE policies on organizational effectiveness. He employed a mixed method approach to research, where the primary data collection method was questionnaires with a 5-point Likert scale, where respondents were required to complete multiple choice questions. He also employed a qualitative study where he used interviews with selected respondents. The study findings confirmed that BBEE had a positive impact on organizational effectiveness, with specific reference to managerial effectiveness, organizational sustainability, organizational strategy, and organizational culture.
Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor in Philosophy and Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Zivuluwani Mudau. The title of the thesis, Exploring Corporate Governance Practices on State Entities, a case study of the Umgungluvu District Municipality. There is an ongoing concern regarding the inability of state entities to provide adequate services to communities due to lack of performance. This growing phenomenon has led to increasing protests by communities across various district municipalities. Given the rampant protest across local municipalities, there is an urgent need to practice good governance in municipalities. J. Difference Nyalungu evaluated the impact of corporate governance practices on the performance of local municipalities to ascertain the depth of corporate governance knowledge and principles in municipalities. In this research, J. found that the knowledge of corporate governance principles across local government is inadequately low. The study found that inadequate practices of accountability contributes to poor performance, whilst the principle of fairness largely contributes to performance. There is therefore the need to encourage practicing corporate governance principles across all spheres of state entities. Incorporation, the practice of corporate governance principle practices, will add value, and it has the potential to minimize corruption and enhance performance. The supervisor is Professor A. Akbenyega, co-supervisor Professor B. I. Dlamini. Chancellor, I present to you for the Doctorate of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, J. Nyalungu. An analysis of policy impact and stream water quality practices on knowledge, attitudes, and behavior towards stream restoration practices in Umlazi Township, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Environmental knowledge and environmental policies influence behavior change towards environmental policies adherence. Rivers in Umlazi are one of the most polluted rivers in South Africa, which results in reports of death resulting from illegal dumping. There is limited understanding on how policy and stream water quality influence people's environmental knowledge, attitude, and behavioral practice. The aim of this study was to determine policy impact on knowledge, attitudes, and behavior towards stream restoration practices in Umlazi Township, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. A sequential mixed method design was used in the study. Interviews and focus group discussions were used to collect data from the municipality and community organizations under exploratory design. A survey on community members of Umlazi validates the interview and the focus group findings. Altering physical and natural environment as part of SEM and improving living conditions of the citizens can be conducted by the government to yield better public health outcomes. Beta coefficients for policies findings suggest policy impact has biggest influence in predicting behavioral change towards stream restoration and in decision making than attitude and knowledge. Even though there was lack of proper knowledge on stream water quality testing, poor attitude towards stream restoration practice was highlighted throughout the study. Citizens' behavior and attitude instead highlighted social disapproval towards clean stream management, and 76.3% highlight concerns of children being more vulnerable to health and safety risks. The study proposes a model that suggests that sustainable management of river ecosystems requires a stronger interdisciplinary approach and reclaiming the water sector from the margins to the center of policy making. Supervisor, Professor T. Mukuchini. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor in Philosophy in Business Sciences, specializing in business administration, Ntukozo Xaba. The title of the thesis, The Influence of Key Risk Drivers on the Performance of SMMEs in the Manufacturing Sector in KwaZulu-Natal. Small, medium, and micro enterprises, especially those in the manufacturing sector, are key contributors to sustainable socio-economic development, constituting majority of enterprises not only in South Africa, but globally. However, despite their importance, manufacturing SMMEs continue to fail, despite various interventions available to them. In a bid to address this challenge, HELPR adopted a unique approach to establish key risk drivers of manufacturing SMMEs in KwaZulu-Natal province. Marking a departure from previous studies, advanced econometric modeling techniques were employed to establish SMME sales and growth performance drivers, which were then modeled using artificial neural network and support vector machines respectively. The study established the complexity of SMME risk drivers and demonstrated that machine learning techniques are more ideal to conduct SME performance predictive analytics. This informed the development of a dedicated SME sector machine learning predictive model that is being IP registered and commercialized through the DUT Technology Transfer and Innovation Directorate. A total of 5 articles were published in DHEAD accredited journals and 4 conference presentations were made based on this thesis. Supervisor, Dr. V. Gumbu. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, HELPR ZO. Title of the thesis, A Systems Approach for Enhancing Entrepreneurial Leadership in Learning for Zimbabwe. The Case of Hillbright Science College in Harare and Muturare. The ever-changing complex environment calls for learning methods that match the dynamic workforce demands. both high schools and universities are churning out school leavers and graduates that fail to meet the socio-economic and the changing workforce requirements. Blessing explored the possibilities of enhancing entrepreneurial leadership in learning using a soft systems methodology at Hillbright Science Colleges in Zimbabwe. Blessing developed 9 conceptual models for enhancing EL in learning that depict the leverage points dealing with the dynamics and the interacting variables, interdependencies, feedback systems within the learning system. By mainstreaming entrepreneurial thinking, it is possible to improve the quality of learning and in turn the sustainable economic development of Zimbabwe. Supervisor Dr. S. Hartman, Chancellor, I present to you the degree of Doctor in Philosophy and Management Sciences, specializing in leadership and complexity. Blessing Machona. The title of the dissertation, The Influence of Digital Transformation on the Growth of Small and Medium Enterprises in KwaZulu-Natal. Supervisor, Dr. L.M. Lakanya. Chancellor, I present to you the degree of Master of Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, Zanele Jeza. Impact evaluation, apologies. The role of corporate social responsibility in promoting growth in small and medium enterprises, SMEs in the hospitality sector in Pietermaritzburg. Supervisor is Dr. B. Chazireni. Chancellor, I present to you Numpumulelo Ngubane. The title of the dissertation, The Role of Preventative Control Measures on Organizational Productivity, Case of Manufacturing SMMEs in Durban. Supervisor, Dr. B. Chazireni. Chancellor, I present to you Mtubisi Nondaba. The influence of emerging technologies on small and medium manufacturing enterprises in eThekwini District Municipality of KwaZulu-Natal. Supervisor, Dr. L.M. Lakanya. Chancellor, I present to you Lindukuhle Ntuli. Title of the dissertation, Factors Shaping the Growth of Women's Entrepreneurship in Small and Medium-Sized Retail Enterprises in the eThekwini Municipality, Durban. Supervisor, Dr. B. Amisi. Chancellor, I present to you Nomalungelu Siyaya. Title of the dissertation, Customer Centricity in Enhancing Organizational Objectives at a Selected Government Parastatal. Supervisor, Professor M.S. Bayat. Chancellor, I present to you Angelique Swartboy. Chancellor, I present to you Postgraduate Diploma in Management Sciences in Business Administration. Nokupila Biyela. Dhanandran Chetty. Atini Dazana. Landile Flamini. Zizakele Flamini. Konzenkosi Shlomo cum laude. Lungani Lutla. Nomaduma Duma. Magdalene Gregory. Ndumiso Gumede. Mpumulu Guamanda. Nokulunga Shlangu. Gabisile Hlongwane. Tabani Kati. Spiwe Kuluse. Emmanuel Kubeka. Lihle Langa cum laude. Milungise Langa. Surisha Lachman. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, cum laude. Sibongekile Matlopo. Sindisiwe Magwaza. Nondumiso Mana cum laude. Kulakane Mantlele. Sihle Mapamulu. Dimakatsu Mavundla. Claudia Masibuku. Azanda Mbambu. Nondumiso Mbambu. Siabonga Mbata. Nosivive Mbonjwa. Mbangweni Mbutuma. Lebu Mbuyazi. Nkosi Ningipile Mqunu. Nonhlanhla Mdakane. Sitembiso Maleche. Nonkolo Mabela cum laude. Nonhlanhla Mkhize. Salvatoris Mkhize cum laude. Bongumusa Mukongu. Lendiwe Mngomezulu. Mara Mpungosi. Zikona Mtembu. Mdudusi Mazobe. Miriam Ndlatsi, cum laude. Eliwe Ngobo. Ntabiseng Ngobo. Nosipo Ngunyama. Letiwe Nchangase. Patrick Nchangase. Silendile Nchangase, cum laude. Nokolo Ntuli, cum laude. Siyabonga Ntuli. Samakelisiwe Nkumalu. Reginald Perumal, cum laude. Ladies and gentlemen, the following student is graduating cum laude as well as with the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence. Navashini Prakash. Maju Radebe. Junaid Ramraj, cum laude. Sibuniso Shalembe. Tandukwakwe Simamane. Brightness Sitole. Nonhle Tabete. Owami Tiba. Nokwanda Tobo. Mandisa Vilakatsi. Siyanda Kakaza. Busisiwe Xulu. Charity Xulu. Sibonelo Xulu. Winnie Xulu. Simpiwe Zama. Tandeka Zindela. Tulisile Zondi. Mzwakwe Zulu. Ayanda Zuma. Pinky Zuma. Simangele Zuma. I will now be calling upon Mrs. Matthews to read out the names for the Advanced Diploma in Management Sciences in Business Administration.
Chancellor, I present to you for the Advanced Diploma in Management Sciences in Business Administration, Joseph Dlamini. Tandiwe Gaza. Shanaz Guman. Cum laude. Zempilo Gumede, cum laude. Tobakile Kanile, cum laude. No, not. Sorry. Nokwande Kunene, cum laude. Landiwe Mhlaba. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please settle down? Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Slungile Makoba. Amanda Makonza. Clau Masenia, cum laude, and the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence. Pumla Mamela, Patson Mhlongo, Nompilo Mkwanazi, Sabelo Msomi, Sinalo Nakasa, Gugu Ndlovu, Mbongiseni Nene, cum laude. Sakile Ngobo, Hlonipile Ngobese, Nyange Nguz, cum laude. Mfumanego Nontangana, cum laude. Samkelesiwe Nyandu, Mhleli Nzimagwe, Vuyani Rajwili, Portia Shange, Asanda Shezi, cum laude. Smangele Shozi, cum laude. Bongekile Sitole, Douglas Sotsaka, Desiree Vadarajulu, cum laude. Michle Fettmann. Did you take the pic? Sichle Kulu. Zintle Tele. And now I'll hand you over to Dr. Naidu to present the next program.
Chancellor, the awardees or graduates that to follow are those who are awarded with the National Diploma in Catering Management, Gambu Nontandazo Andiswa. Gwensa Ntombienkosi Princess. Gumede Andiswa. Hadebe Immaculate Gabesili. Shlengwa Nokupua Pretty. Jula Nozipo Indonesia. Kubuso Sianda Sipesele. Kumalo Zamatungwa Tembichisha. Mabaso Zanele. Manquinda Zanele Gracious. Mashabane Sipumemele Sinemila Stoandra. Mshlongo Asanda. Mshlongo Gogoleto Inkosi Nkipila. Mjiako Tembelishla Minenshla. Mkizi Cinderella. Mkize Pumalani Romeo. Mkwanazi Mandisa Minenshle Ayanda. Mpongosi Tembeka Sineshlanshla. Imtembu Maibongwe Zamani. Naika Lingeshwari. Ngobo Bonginkosi Sanele. Ngobo Zamikile Gugu Fortunate. Shlebele Zamadulo Winter Rose. Insele Kufisizwe Minenchle. Ntombela Nomdunmiso. Mshangasi Piweb. Sutole Nolotando Michelle Mshlablia. Zaka Nonsindiso Tembaletu. Zama Nomfundo. Chancellor, I would like to call upon Mrs. Matthews to now present the graduates for the Higher Certificate in Operations Management and in Project Management.
Chancellor, I present to you for the Higher Certificate in Operations Management in Project Management, Zandile Kiliza, cum laude. Kolesile Langa, cum laude. Nomusa Magwenyana. Bongiwe Mtembu, cum laude. Nomfundo Ndaba, cum laude. Mondli Ntuli, cum laude.
Graduates, congratulations. The university hopes that you will be vibrant, critical participants in this democracy. We hope that you will engage actively and entrepreneurially in the economy. We hope that you will display leadership and activism in the communities in which you are embedded, that you will give maximally of yourselves. You are generally members of an elite group, since only 18% of 18 to 24-year-olds have access to higher education in South Africa. As graduates, you will automatically become members of the Convocation, a statutory body that helps shape the future of the university. It is an active body that we hope you will maintain your relationship with. We also hope that you will return to DUT to take up postgraduate studies, because we know that South Africa needs many more highly trained people. So to you, this is not a permanent goodbye. Also, graduates, we know that you have navigated a successful journey, often fraught with many challenges. And we also know that you have not traveled this journey alone. So it is time for you to remember some very special people. And to the graduates, I'd like to request that you just look over to your right-hand side. As you sit, if you can just look over to the right, look at those individuals. And while you do that, if you can just stand, because I think these individuals deserve a standing ovation. If we can just recognize the parents, the guardians, the family members, and give them a resounding round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now let's also remember your lecturers and university staff, some of whom are sitting on the stage here. A round of applause for them. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And finally, Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud and honored to present to you the DUT graduating class of 2021. Congratulations, graduates. Congratulations. Now with that, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, I would like to request the Deputy Dean, or the Deputy Dean, Dr. Melanie Lawrence, to come to the podium to deliver the closing remarks.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Registrar, Deputy Registrars, Heads of Department, and academic staff and colleagues on the stage, as well as ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend my sincere thanks for each and every person that have joined us for this afternoon session and who have made this session possible. Our graduates, we are extremely proud of you. And that is also a message on behalf of Professor Fulu Netswera, who is our Executive Dean for the Faculty of Management Sciences. You are truly our bundles of joy. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And you have achieved so much, being the class of 2021. You've survived a pandemic, a national shutdown. You have mastered MS Teams. You have also mastered Moodle to make the deadline in your submissions. For our doctorate students, you've mastered your theoretical frameworks. There was a stage when you were sleeping and you were dreaming of your literature review. Congratulations. We are extremely proud of you, and I hope and pray that this is just a stepping stone for you for the next qualification. Even our doctorate students, nothing is stopping you from coming back and doing a second one. To everyone that have made today possible, especially our faculty office staff who has worked endlessly to get the graduation roll together, the staff of the ICC, and everybody else that have been involved in this process, a very big thank you. Now, I know that you have stood up and you have waved at your relatives and your family and friends on your right-hand side, But from the faculty's office side, I want to say a very, very big thank you to every Oma, Opa, Mama, Papa, husband, wife, every relative that is here today that have carried our students to achieve the height that they have achieved. Thank you for having them in your prayers and your thoughts for every assessment. Often what you find is that they stress up more than we do when we've got an assessment due. I wish you all the best for your future careers, and please remain blessed. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lawrence, for those very heartfelt words. They were well received, clearly, by the graduates. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, we will sing the national anthem. And of course, I'd just like to take you through the protocol involved with that. We will all stand to attention with our hands by our side at a particular point. Gentlemen will please remove their headgear. Ladies are welcome to keep their headgear on. Once the anthem is over, the Chancellor will dissolve the congregation, and at that point, the celebratory graduation ceremony will conclude. Please remember to remain standing when the procession leaves the stage, and once the stage procession has left the venue, graduates are then welcome to depart, and then our guests can follow the graduates once they have left the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, when you post your photos, especially to the graduates, on our social media, use hashtag DUTGrad2022 so we can all join in your celebration today. But also remember to please party safely. Graduates, we are very proud of you and we wish you success and good fortune always. Madam Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I dissolve this congregation of the Durban University of Technology.